Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always with me is my husband, Glenn. He's not here right now. He's here in spirit. He's working, and even if he was here, he would sit this one out because we have a very special guest in the house tonight. I shouldn't be reading text messages. Okay, let's get down to business. This is the Mother's Day show, so I have a very special guest in the house tonight. I already plugged it earlier, so you can probably imagine who I have with me. If you found this show, please share the show, share the show, share the show. It is May 7th. It is May 7th, and this weekend is Mother's Day. It's a Mother's Day. I'm saying the weekend because it might be Saturday, Sunday that you're getting together with family or friends. If you have a mother, were a mother, want to be a mother, know a mother, happy Mother's Day, ladies. I got a couple of housekeeping things that I want to go over with y'all. First of all, we have on June 7th, Bonnie Scalisi and I are producing a show at G's Club in West Hempstead. That's Nassau County. It is a free comedy show, and Terry McNeely is the headliner, and we have a bonus mystery spot available, which means if you come down to the show and you're a comic, you can put your name in the hat and get a chance to perform that night, the night of the show. So please come down, show your support. That's G's Club in West Hempstead on June 7th at 7 o'clock. Terry McNeely is headlining. Michelle Fox is hosting. Bonnie and I will be performing. The whole card is up, and it's a free show. We have my Aunt Eileen tuning in, saying hello. Hey, Eileen, that's my godmama. Hope you're doing well. Okay, what else did I have to talk to you about before I bring on this guest? I think that was it in terms of just please share the show. Dave Lane, the Colonel, saying, hey, Mandy, and special guests. Mm-hmm. Also, please, it means a lot to me if you would subscribe to Mandy Jones, the comedian, on YouTube. Bonnie and I are there every Wednesday where we do a show called The Wildflowers, where it's Bonnie and I and another guest. It's not always another comedian. And we do a different topic each week. These are live interactive podcasts, just like this show. So is that a strip club? G's Club is not a strip club, Esther. It's a nightclub. They do karaoke there a lot. I think they do. It's a sports bar, but it's food and drink there. So what's really cool is there's a lot of people that don't drink. So I like that this place is you can go and have food, and you don't have to have alcohol. You could just go and have a burger and a soda or whatever, and hear some free comedy. So without further ado, it's not a strip club. Oh, hey, Bonnie, my beautiful, we got Michelle Underhill, my aunt there, Robert Soleil, who we must thank for the intro music there. And that's it. So I usually say my friend and now yours, but I can't do that on this show because that's awkward. My mom, and now yours, Mary Underhill. Hello. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
We're gonna act like we haven't been hanging out the last half hour. We're gonna keep you green. It was funny because we were like standing at the chairs talking, and she's like, "Can I sit?" And it's like, "It's still my table, Mom. It's still my kitchen table. I know this feels really weird." Eileen saying woohoo. Peter Najak saying woohoo. He's saying he's here. Peter Najak was the guy who got the bagel. He got harassed in the bagel store. There was a viral video that a man, he was a short man, and he was being really mean to a woman, and they stuck up for him, and he got in Peter's face and was like, tell me the exact words, because it's, you're not my father, my boss, or God. So, like, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh, God.
But it was a whole thing. So whenever we see Peter, we got to talk about the Bagel Boss incident, because only on Long Island would you have a crazy incident with a bagel person like that. But, Mom, we're going to get you back to the interview, because I know you're freaking out that you're on the screen alone probably. So here we are.
And I have no idea what you're going to say.
Well, I'm not going to embarrass you if that's what you think. If that's what you think. First of all, I want to thank you for your time, because no one gets paid to do this show ever. So you can only dedicate your time to this show, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
because you could have said no.
I get to hang out with you.
Well, and it's cool, because I really appreciate that you always tune in and watch the show. I know all the names on here. Is that your mother? Yes, Robert Soleil. That is my mother. That's my mom, Mary. Or boss, I'm not your father, God, or my boss, is what Peter's saying. Yeah, so that was the Bagel Boss incident. Yeah, so Mom, let's start off with how you got to the planet, because I wouldn't exist if it weren't for you. So, okay, you have Irish in your blood.
Yes.
Irish.
Yes.
So how close to Ireland would you say you are?
Well, all my grandparents born in Ireland. So, I mean, I've never been there myself.
But all your grandparents were born there, so we call you 100% Irish, even though we've never done an Ancestry.com on you.
But you can get dual citizenship if you want to do that,
okay.
Which is cool.
That's interesting. Yeah. So I couldn't do that, but you could do that.
Right.
All right. So this is my mom flexing on me, guys. I can get dual citizenship.
Yeah, but you've been to Ireland and I haven't.
So yeah, but you could be a citizen there and you could still go, Mom.
I know. I do want to go.
We're not. It's not off the list yet. So you're one of 10 kids.
Yes.
And
number 6.
Number 6. Do we rattle them off, or should I? Because everyone's got to. Do it.
Patty, Eileen, Nora, Colleen, John, Mary, Dudley, Kevin, Carrie, Danny.
And you're taught that at a young age in our family. Patty, Eileen, Nora, Colleen, John, Mary, Kevin, Carrie, Dudley, Danny. And you do it you have to do it like when you're like, I'm trying to like figure out the ages of my cousins and then their kids and who was born. Because now Noni, which is my mom, my mom's mom, my only living grandparent. Right. I mean, my mom is remarried, so I have a step Grandma Grady, who's alive and well. But my biological grandma Noni is the last living relative for me, and she's 90. So God bless her. And I think she might even be tuning in because Nora's over there. Nora's over there, one of her daughters. So one of 10, 6 in line. What's that like?
Oh, boy. Well, it was crazy, I guess, growing up, but that's all,
you know, that I knew. Different. Right. Because that's how I feel our house was like. I mean, I'm one of 4, so that's a lot of kids to be one, of. And I felt like that, too. Like, it's a lot. You have a responsibility because there's kids older than you that are telling you what, like Janelle, showing you the way, the cooler stuff. And then there's kids that you got to be the role model for. Like, my little brothers, you had the younger ones.
Right.
Something that, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Kerry told me that you kept her belief in the Tooth Fairy alive. Do you remember this?
Not really.
Okay, so my Aunt Kerry, which is my mom's younger sister, and how much younger is she? What's the age difference there? Just a couple of years. Oh, no, a little further than that.
Yeah, I think she's like...
She just turned... me and her are 20 years apart, so she just turned 51.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so yeah, so you guys are a couple of years apart, but you shared a room because I guess at that time, because it was always a shift. I'm guessing it was a revolving door.
Yeah,
with
it was
the
always
10 kids. Yeah, because someone would get married and move out, and then another person would bunk up, or 2 people are going to kill each other. So
Yeah, like the room I stayed in used to be Nora and Eileen's room, Yeah,
so you graduated.
And then the boys, they built a room downstairs for them, and my parents were downstairs, so.
Oh, okay.
So it was always, people coming and going, and.
Yeah, and so many of what's cool about the age difference there is you had so many, like Hacksaw, my uncle, my Aunt Eileen is watching, her husband is Hacksaw, Danny. And they're my godparents, and that's not common where you have, usually a godparent is they pick one from the mother's side of the family and one from the father's side of the family. But for me, you guys picked a couple.
Yeah.
to be my godparents. And I think that's really cool. That means Dad was cool enough with Danny to let that go down.
I think they were just running out of people, so we'd like double up on.
They're like, you have a grandkid? Yeah, you got her. We just had one. Sold. She's already a godmother to that one. All right, so it was like that. Okay, and another thing, you filmed me my entire life.
Yes.
And I guess somebody asked me the other day, they said, why did they do that? And I said, I think it was because Janelle is 4 years older than me, so she was 3 years old when you were pregnant. I think you probably saw she's grown up fast.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think they had I'm not sure if they had the camera. It was like a pretty new thing.
Yeah.
It was big and bulky and a VCR
but
tape.
We have on camera, not like me coming out of the woo-ha, but right before and right after. And can we tell the story about my name? Yeah. What you texted me today?
Oh yeah. So, I was certain she was a boy. She was going to be Timothy. I was like, oh, she's definitely a boy.
And you said that like it was back in the day I was like never positioned right when they went to check on me. So you're like, it's got to be a boy.
You know what? They didn't have.
They're like, whatever, it's a boy.
Yeah, they didn't have like now. It's like you could see like perfectly. Like
the babies are like doing this now.
Yeah, it's like you could really see what they look like. It was different then, and I don't think I wanted to find out or.
Yeah, and you already had a girl, so you were like pretty set on.
I was like, I'll get a boy, and then
we'll be good.
Yeah, right? That's it. Shut it down.
Lo and behold, I came through, ruined the whole plan. But all right, so so Timothy was because I was going to be a boy, so you weren't really thinking I was going to be a girl, but I had girl.
Yeah, but I couldn't decide on which one, so it was either Amanda or Katrina. Because there was a group, Katrina and the Waves, and I like that. And Mandy, Amanda Boston song was very popular. I think that's why there's a lot of kids your age named.
Yeah, it was
Amanda.
We looked it up, the popularity of like my name and Brad's name. Amanda's been like top 200 names for like ever. And we held like the top 4 for like decades. And Amanda is like,
and I never knew that who I love Rolling Stones, and I've seen them live. I've seen them before, but they have a song, Mandy Jones. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For a long time after. I wonder if your friends do that song.
Well, it's funny they have done that song. Oh, Heather's watching. That's my mom's cousin. We've had her on the show. I could swear she said 8:30. I don't know what Robin's talking about. Robin, are you talking about the show over at on June 7th? Because the show, it's seating at 6, showtime is 7, if that's what we're talking about. And Robin's saying they look like sisters.
Thank you, Robin.
But what I wanted to say is, so you didn't know what I was going to be, and so I ended up being a girl, and this is on film now.
Yes, so we're in the delivery room. I just had you, and it was exciting, too, because my first baby was a C-section.
So you got to naturally.
Yes. And, the doctor's like, there's no reason why you can't try it. So I felt, after having it, felt really empowered. Like, because I was like, I did it, because it was a big, totally different experience,
Interesting.
So I'm in the, I'm there, nothing, you can't see anything.
Yeah, no, I know.
Dad was he was filming from the top. So I was like, I don't know. Either Katrina or Amanda. I don't know, what to name her. What do you guys think? So the nurses and the doctor, they all said Amanda. So I'm like, Amanda it is.
Unanimous vote, guys.
They're like, Amanda Jones. That sounds really good.
So, you know what? And it's funny because I even shortened to Mandy, I feel like in comedy. And even at Stony Brook, when I went as Mandy, because in grade school I was more Amanda, because you read your name off a roster versus college, you tell people what your name is. And going by Mandy, they're like, oh, Mandy Jones. They just always said first and last name. Like, it just kind of went together. Like, got a ring to it. Like, and I always tell the joke about Lee saying it sounds like a porn star's name, and the joke is, there's kids on the HR department at the office. Because he honestly would say that because he's inappropriate, But, it's so such a cool pick with the cigar. Oh, that's Lucy smoking? Is that what she's talking about, Patty? Lucy's with the cigarettes earlier, maybe. So unanimous vote, and so then me and Janelle, we palled around quite a bit before you had Dylan.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
because my brother is 4 years younger than me, so it was the two
Yeah, and
girls.
you were 4 younger than her.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it was
a good spacing.
It really was, because we weren't like competitive. Like when you had Dylan, I felt like, I feel like I was like, I would write permission slips and have you sign them. Like, can I bring them like to the backyard? Do you remember that?
Yeah, well,
I like wanted to play
mother.
teacher like all the time with him and Evan, who is my cousin, who's just 1 year older than Dylan.
But what's cool about all the filming of you is that I got to film Eileen's kids, Nora's kids, all because no one had a camera back then.
I know, and it's funny going through. So what I had done, just for you guys, this is when my mom's like, "Who do we talk to?" I'm like, "Each other." But I do talk to the crowd, and what I had done is my mom had filmed. I think it was 30 tapes, Mom,
and some of them are like. They were like 4-hour tapes back then.
Yeah, so she had a ton of footage of like literally like it would be like Christmas at my dad's parents' house. So
right.
Like,
yeah, and we have
my
grandpa,
dad, like literally people that are no longer with us, moving, singing, talking, filming, and we take that for granted now because everyone's got the phone to them,
and you'd never remember any of it.
You wouldn't, and even the stuff that's like I know I remember it like. Watching it again, like we have on tape, you have on tape us in the Outer Banks, and it's me and my two cousins, Annie and Katie. Annie's my age and Katie's 2 years older than me, and we went to play like pal around basketball. Like,
they made it like a tournament. But
it was so serious. They put us against 4 boys that were like 10 years old.
They were like double the size of you guys.
They were like bigger than us, and literally, it's my one uncle yelling like, "Get the ball!" Like seriously, like because our family can't lose.
Yeah, Eileen too. She was coaching from the side.
And like my dad, who's usually the hardest, is like, he's like, "Mandy, just like try to be by the ball." And I'm like, "Okay."
She looks adorable. She had no idea. Yeah,
like, she's not gonna. But like us to be able to like, because me and Annie and Katie, we tell that in our memories, that seared in our mind. The kids were giant, half our size. And I literally sent clips of that to them, and they were dying. Because, you clip it out on the cell phone.
I know. And what you did, though, with the...
Well, what I did with the 30 tapes was I literally... We brought them to Costco, and they were like, "Yeah, this is going to be $5,000.
I know, to put them on DVDs, right?
Yeah, and fucking thank God we didn't, because Dad, we have some Simpsons videos that are over some
I know.
Memories.
There's a lot of those. I know.
So
take the Simpsons, for God's sake.
So thank God we didn't do that. So what Glenn did was it's literally just an adapter that you get. It was a very inexpensive thing that goes from a VCR to like USB. So I put all of them on my laptop. You just have to run it. You can have it on mute,
but literally it's this big. It's amazing. On a keychain.
It's on the memory stick. I think it was 180 gigabytes, and it's fucking cheap, Mom, for that amount of space.
It's amazing.
It looks like a zipper for your
when you handed it to me, I was like, what?
I know, when it came in the mail, because what I did was my mom and dad, my biological dad are divorced, so I didn't want those videos, like God forbid your house flooded.
I know.
Like, they're in your attic in the heat, like getting like warped.
They were up there.
And
Thank God
that's
nothing
the thing. I was like, and now like I know that like we're all adults and we're all different,
right?
And we all like, and like I honestly, when I was going through the videos, I saw our household through a different set of eyes.
Yes.
Because I was older. Like I was thinking, I'm watching you with me, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm older than she is now.
Yeah.
With 2 kids. Like,
right.
I got to cut her some slack.
I know. I was 23 with Janelle and 27 with you. So.
Because on my birthday, Linda had said 31's a great, and that's my mother-in-law. She said that's a great year. She said that's when she had Darren, because Glenn and Darren are 7 years apart. And she had said, I said, well, I give you guys a lot of credit because you guys were raising us. Right. When you were raising yourself still. Because I'm still figuring out life,
Oh,
and like
totally.
It's a totally different thing to be, distracted with, I got to have diapers for this thing.
There's a lot,
that goes into it. We had a lot, so babysitting nieces and nephews. I mean, you have a pretty funny story about Keith, the oldest nephew. being a terror. Leaving, so
well, Eileen had to sneak out.
Yeah, because he did not want to be left, and just all the family. I feel like having such a big family, I say it on the show, I feel like it made me have to be a team player, and it makes you have to get along and be fair and stuff, because it's like everybody gets their turn, everyone has to, and it's funny watching the home videos, because like it'll be like Eileen will be yelling at one of her kids. Like, it's always the parent yelling at their own kid, like, just give the other kid the toy. Like, stop being a fucking, they're not saying that, but just stop it. Enough.
I know.
And it's funny, and I think it's just because you guys were so used to that. So, like, I'm very thankful that I have siblings.
Yes, and that you did that. I mean, because my mom is sick right now. She's 90. She's... So, but... Everyone's visiting her, so I brought that. What do you call? I don't even know what you call it.
It's a thumb drive. So it's a memory stick, a thumb drive. It's a USB drive where it's compacted all the videos. And
so now it's over at my mom's, and everyone's going over there, so they're getting to see, like, John's getting to see Katie, and it's really cool. And Eileen, I have so much of, like, Pat and Annie.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because Eileen, my godmother, she was going to school, right? So Annie would be over with me. And why not? On the same age, they occupy each other. Oh, yeah. It's like they watch each other. It's freaking...
I know. Well, one time, I had a latch. I had a latch up top so, like, they wouldn't escape. I was watching them, But I went upstairs for a second. All of a sudden, I hear, like, something. I'm like, what the hell is that? Annie is dragging the chair to the door to get to the latch. You guys were like, I don't know, like 2. She's like, I'll get us out of here.
We'll break out. We'll go play outside. Well, a hacksaw would make us play the 5-minute game. If me and Annie started arguing, you start playing the 5-minute game where it's, all right, you play house or whatever you want to play for 5 minutes, and what I want to play for 5 minutes. And by the freaking second game, you forget that you're arguing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just for 5 minutes, do their game, and then next 5 minutes, and then...
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was the 5-minute game. Yeah, he was like, 5-minute game, that's it.
Yeah.
This is improv land. You get 5 minutes. That's how I got my tight 5. You get your 5 minutes in comedy too.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Call back to but I think that you filming all of my life, it's like people are like, do you get nervous? And I do get nervous. Like, it's funny, I was nervous before we went on, but I didn't want to tell you. Because it's just funny, because like it's just a different experience sitting with your mom versus just a friend. It's just funny. But the camera was like, I'm used to it being there.
And you loved performing.
And it's like, you love performing, but it's like, did you create the thing? Because you always, you have a camera since I was born. Yeah. So I knew camera's out, you smile and you don't be in jerk.
And then we would all watch it, and but getting just quickly about the tape,
whatever.
I would always say to everyone, like to Eileen, to Nora, you got to see, I have all these movies, and I could never and
how many times?
And you'd have to go through, you'd put one tape in, and it's like 2.5 hours
I would love to do a montage of you just saying, I'll get you a copy. We're going to get you a copy of this. Like, you guys are at a party.
Oh,
and
totally.
Like, we're going to get you a copy of it. Like, it's literally like this now. No, it was not like that.
I know.
There was no copy.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like it was like really important for our like family history, like to like preserve that.
Yeah, and grandpa, like tons of grandpa.
Oh, and that was great. Like I saw a lot that stuff I would never remember, like, it was just like, you guys, you're hanging out. It's like the kids just want to dance and be silly. So like, we're just being, it's just like natural freaking circus.
Well, you guys were like so entertaining, I was like, get the camera,
and Janelle was charging for shows,
Oh yeah. Yeah. They started out like a quarter, and I was buying, and I was like made to go,
Obviously,
and
they're in your house.
She would like just make them up on the fly,
Yeah, it's an improv show that you're going to in your house. It's going to cost a quarter. The one time you came in and Janelle's like, it's $1. You go, for both, because like I'm not paying $2, because like I guess there was
I know you're not that good.
Like I guess I was a performer and she was a performer.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, no, for both. Like,
So-
I'm cutting a deal before.
Well, one of the shows that she was doing, I walk in the room, I have no idea and she had that canopy bed. She was behind the bed and she had a sock. This was the show, a sock on each hand and like talking to each other.
Paid
And
good
then
money.
one would go down and then, yeah. She actually said a bus broke down one time when they were on their track, the track team. So there was, they were just sitting there. She went behind the back seat of the bus and put on a puppet show with her socks. So it came in handy again.
Oh my God. This is great. Dan Romano saying best show, and Eileen saying Hacksaw was wise. It was, yes, very wise.
We also have Hacksaw on a skateboard, so stay tuned.
God.
She didn't go far.
Well, wait a minute. Let's talk about Hacksaw. Okay. So my uncle's not the slimmest guy, and Annie and I were 7 years old.
But he's not that big.
No, he's not that. He's not huge, but he's not the slimmest guy in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Use your imagination. So, me and Annie we're probably 6 years old, I guess, old enough that you could like try to do gymnastics in the house. Like you have enough room to try to do gymnastics in the house. And no flipping, feet on the ground.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not getting concussed. Never. She hates trampolines. Eileen's saying I will pay $1 for that. I know that show, seriously. So me and Annie are trying to do cartwheels spastic because you guys would never put us in gymnastic class, obviously. And Hacksaw, from Eileen's living room, from one entrance to the corner, just was like, oh, I'll show you guys. And literally goes, I'll show you guys. And are like, all right. So he goes, come outside. We come outside. He does a perfect cartwheel, 90-degree, like jump, like the most perfect. And it was the first day of spring.
Yeah.
So it was Danny O'Brien's cartwheel into spring.
Right.
And like, it was like a mark of the year.
Yeah. They're like, did he do it yet? It was like the groundhog.
Has it gone on? I need to see that again. He also, Eileen's saying he's manly. I've seen him in a potato sack race. I love Hacksaw.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just I always say that my father-in-law, Big Glenn, is like Hacksaw of their family. Just
corny jokes, but nicest man in the world.
Corny jokes isn't gonna bat an eyelash when you ask him to drive 4 hours.
Oh yeah, total. Yeah, he started
Get behind
Uber.
the wheel. I know he was Ubering people for free. Because he would go out to the Hamptons and pick out all my cousins because he doesn't want them drinking and driving.
Right.
He said that one time he was literally at the beach, like picking up the kids, and a bus, like a load of kids get in, and he turns around. He's like, "You're not my family." He's like, "Get out!" They thought he was like a cab. They got in. They're like, "All right,
That's
like,
funny.
You're not my group. I'm not. I'm just here for But there's a couple of like monumental things that I had noted that I wanted to talk about. So you're remarried. First of all, the one thing I want to say about you and Dad being divorced that always stuck in my head is you had said you didn't want us, me and Janelle, girls growing up thinking that we should be talked to the way Dad would talk to you sometimes.
Right.
So like that verbal abuse is a real thing, and that always stuck with me because that like is like a self-worth, like really important, good, positive message. And we've all come a very long way in that my family, we can all be civil. And it took a long time to get there. And divorces, I think, happen and are rocky, just like, so if you are going through a divorce or recent and it feels like it's never going to get better. Yeah. It does.
Right. And I always feel that women, I mean, not to put you guys down out there, but women, as we grow, as we get older and stuff, we think differently about what is what we're going to accept and what we won't.
Right.
And just having the girls thinking like, oh, I'm really setting a bad example.
Right. Because that means they're going to go for a guy that talks like this, or they're going to think it's normal.
Right. Yes.
So I thought that was really cool. And then you met Mike, who is my awesome stepdad. I always say, I always joke that I'm the closest, and you said because Dylan doesn't talk and Janelle doesn't listen. I know, I'm crying. I'm crying, guys. That's
okay.
It's honestly, crying is not a sign of weakness. Ever since you're born, it's a sign of life.
And Mike, like, perfect, like, even without watching Dr. Phil, just always knew that
without knowing Dr. Phil's words, he knew
never was the disciplinarian.
No,
always, like, no matter what you need,
no, my stepdad is awesome in that way. I almost think of him as like an older brother figure because Mom, you're a cougar and you actually married someone quite younger than you, but because he took that back seat and he said, whatever she's going to let you do, she's your mother, and I love and support her, and there will be food in the house. And,
and whatever you guys need, no matter what it was.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. How many times did he lug bins back and forth to college with
like,
me?
no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm on the way home from work. That was great because I went to Stony Brook, where I was 45 minutes away from home, but I felt like I was in a different world.
Yes.
But that was great because I remember, like, forgetting my cell phone cord charger, like, the first night. And you're like, oh, Michael, bring it
or
tomorrow.
Flushing your phone down the toilet. Not just dropping it in the toilet.
I lost a couple of phones. And honestly, that was very liberating when I flushed my phone down the toilet. And this is a complete accident, obviously. But what was liberating about that, I was like, they have to call me now. You know, anybody that I couldn't reach out to anybody.
Right.
They had to come to. So anybody that was, like, in my life, like, had to have resurfaced. I was like, I get to start over.
Right. Cut out some of the numbers.
Exactly. Cut out some of the nonsense. Because it's like people, and that's a true test of, because there are friends that I've lost, not that cell phone, but other cell phones, and I never got their number back. And I'm not going to say it on air who that is, but there's a certain person that I'm thinking of that I never got their number back because they just never hit me up. And I said, oh, wow, I guess I was the one always reaching out.
Yeah.
And so it was a one-way street, but the cell phone is weird and liberating. And I've had the same, it's funny because I was thinking of this today. I pay for my own cell phone, but you guys got me a cell phone when I was 15 years old. So it's got if I were to call someone right now, it would say Amanda Underhill. That person does not exist.
Yeah.
But because I pay for my own bill, but it's the number was once for Amanda Underhill.
Right. Because you were on the plan.
Because I was once a family plan that now is broken off.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's funny. And also Janice said to one day, Dad was asking about me changing my name to, my married name. And I said, well, Janice goes to Dad, she's like, yeah, well, she uses Jones for all her comedy. None of her stuff is her married name. Because I started comedy before I got married.
Right.
So he was like, oh, yeah. Like, because the name,
Right.
Yeah, because, it's like, I don't know. But I don't know where I was going with that. Just, but yeah, so then we have James, the best of the cream of the crop of the four siblings, because James is 13 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And James is on the autism spectrum. And can you talk about how James is different than me and Janelle? I know we're all very different, but how James is different, especially because, like, it was with Mike, who's a totally different man, had a different style of parenting, and, like, what's different and how just talk about James. I love him.
It's different because he's 18 now, but we still have to, always know where he is. He doesn't go anywhere, by himself and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I drive him to school every day on my school bus.
Yeah, which is great because
I drove you guys.
I know, that was great too, because I know before you met Mike and you were a single mom, like we would my mom was a bus driver at my school, so we would be on the bus with you for, it was just for
and it's perfect because then there was no babysitting for anyone,
Right, yeah. And like I remember, and we would get left alone when we were old enough to be left alone,
Yeah.
And I would watch James when he was a baby because I was, like I said, there's a 13-year age difference there.
Right.
And, I love James.
Well, I always say he's the happiest person I know,
And he does vocalize if he's not happy.
Yeah, so but and that's so rare. Like, in his world, he loves his life. He does.
Yeah. And he doesn't, it's no bullshit. I mean, if you think about it, like, all the verbalization and all the drama is all words and all stuff we get caught up in. I go on Facebook and you see, they're doing that. They're in Greece and they're in Italy, and then you get jealous. if you don't have that like social
right
obsession with other people,
mm-hmm.
you're not comparing yourselves to others, and it sounds like a pretty good method for happiness. Like,
yeah, and I used to get sad on his birthdays, or if I saw like the kids out riding their bike, stuff like that.
Because the milestones are different.
Exactly. But then, a lot of typical kids are, I drive kids, so.
Yeah, they got their own issues.
Yeah.
You could have a kid that's typical that is a fucking mess.
Right.
And doesn't listen and is a brat.
Yeah,
or
mean to people.
Get violent. You know, completely, nothing is wrong with them.
Yeah.
But
so,
that's not okay.
Yeah, he's a joy. He really is.
Yeah, and we are so lucky because autism is a spectrum, just like everything is a spectrum, and James is nonviolent, like there's a lot of kids that, throw fits and when they're not happy.
Whatever, whatever, like tomorrow
go with the flow.
Tomorrow he's going for an MRA, which is like an MRI.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to make it like it's a fun thing. You're going to go in this, like he'll just do it,
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to go in this tunnel thing. And
you're going to go in this tunnel machine, and then the doctor's going to tell me what the tunnel machine said, all right? That's all I know.
So we're doing that at 8 a.m.
If I knew more, I would tell you more. Because, and he's funny because, like, last time I was at your house, I was, like, rummaging around in the attic space or one of the storage spaces. Like, there's any of my shit that I want to, like, reclaim now? Or do you want to still store it for free here? No, but, so I was in Dylan's room, so James was like, oh, the door's open, like, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to mosey in there. The door's not, and I think he was also like, who the hell is like rummaging through Dylan's room?
Probably wanted to see what you're doing.
What's she up to in there? He wants to know what's going on. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you're in here, buddy. And he's like, light, just like, because the bulb, two of the bulbs were out. I was like, it's not broken.
Yeah.
I said the bulbs, I was like, you got to ask Dad. I said, Dad might have the bulbs in the house.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to buy more. I'm like, but in Liam's, because I always, just because he doesn't talk very much, I never treat him different.
Right.
He can fucking hear you.
He understands like everything you say, and he's just quiet. Like I'll tell him, I said, because he had his haircut yesterday, I said, everyone's going to be saying, James,
Yeah.
I love your haircut. I'm like, I'm like, say thank you. He'll be like, thank you. But I'm like, no, loud and proud.
Thank you.
But also with like the puzzles, like Michelle, he's done like 1,000-piece, 1,500-piece. Michelle got him a 2,000-piece. That's my sister-in-law.
Oh my god!
And he just finished it, and he's amazing. Like he's super smart.
He's got the photographic memory because like he
could spell it. Taught himself how to read. I mean, he's smarter than
the average parent. He's smarter than the other kids.
Totally.
We got progressively smarter because Dylan and June
but
were
I was
smarter than me.
You guys were totally smart. When they were sick or something, I would say I would say stay home, let the other kids catch up.
I literally said that to Glenn the other day. I said my mom used to say that because like we've gotten to a point in our lives where we have enough money and we're comfortable enough that if you have a personal day or sick time off, unpaid time off, we can afford it. You know what I mean? For your mental health.
Yes.
Some days you need to sleep in. And especially with, our husbands, my husband and my stepdad work together.
Yes.
So they're working in schools and it's always opposite of what the kids are. So, and this time of year, it's like, oh, you can come in actually in the daytime now, but you just worked till 11 p.m.
Right.
And now you got to be in at 7 a.m. next day.
Right.
And like, so it's really crazy with that. I forget exactly where I was going with that initially, but it is great that they work together.
Yes.
Oh well, we were talking about Michelle with the puzzle.
Oh yeah, well, and I'm going to see Michelle and Deborah tomorrow. They're coming over.
I would have Grandma Grady and Deborah and Michelle, I would have been there, but we're actually going upstate. We haven't.
Okay.
Glenn said to me, he goes, I haven't seen my parents since Christmas.
I know. You guys used to go up every
And
other
when he
weekend.
said
Oh,
that,
yeah, and it's Mother's Day.
I
Yeah.
know. And when he said that, I was like, wow. Because it really is. Like, I
Yeah.
would see them sometimes more frequently than I'd see you. And you're on Long Island. But
Right.
it was just like the schedule and stuff. And now really doing the Friday night shows. And Glenn might get called into work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, we just want to sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I literally am an old lady. I just want to catch up and sleep, But no, but it's good. We're gonna shoot up there tonight.
Good.
And then they'll be happy to see us.
Yeah, and then you took off Monday, so
yeah, and then
nice.
I took a mental health day on Monday. I'm gonna go see my 90-year-old grandma and my aunt who's in town. So that's cool. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, well, your personal trainer. You were I guess when you were on the verge of getting divorced and separated and all of that stuff, you started getting really fit and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually
I need to get back to that.
and you got your license actually to do personal training.
But then I got pregnant. I never did anything with it.
Right, but you actually are well versed in the gym and and self motivated. You run and stuff, which I'm really like. It's something that you and Janelle was a runner, like I played sports, but like I was not really like athletic like that.
Right.
Or like driven to work out like that. But now more recently, as I'm getting older, I'm like, I like the shape I'm in and I'd like to keep the shape I'm in.
Yes.
So let's work on keeping it now before it gets out of hand.
But since the pandemic, I don't miss the gym at all. I mean, it was a little too time consuming, I feel like.
Yeah.
I could do it at home. I could,
Well, that's what I love. I've been working out here. I have the ab workout.
They have everything online.
It's a free app, and it says every night at 8 o'clock, it says, hey, it's time to work out. And most of the days, like, I'll play on the balance board, and I'll do some crunches. And I don't count crunches because I'm just like, I just wanted to, like, have music on.
Right.
And it's literally like, oh, go upstairs, fold some socks, fold some laundry, sort some socks.
I mean, just that, going up and down the stairs, that's a workout. I usually have my Fitbit on. Because
you always said that, too, working out, cleaning, like that's a workout.
Yeah, it is.
And I always take that into consideration. Like, when I'm carrying a load of laundry, like,
totally
carry it like you want your fucking arms to look nice, Mandy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
flex that laundry.
Work that laundry. No, but it's the truth. I'm glad that you set that example because I know I'm like, oh, my mom's in great shape. I'm gonna be fine. I could do it. I got her makeup. I'll be fine. So that's cool. 1 of 10. You talked about when Grandpa passed away. You said that he had a way of making everyone feel like they were his favorite.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Honest, I always say I really was the favorite. Sorry, Eileen.
So that's how it felt. Everyone felt like the favorite because you actually just were the favorite.
He would just find time to
take everyone separate.
I remember when I was in Girl Scouts, we would have a father-daughter dance every year, and Linus would bring her dad, and we had to bring a cake, and Eileen Gerardo would bring her dad. And it was so cute. We were out there square dancing with our dad, stuff like that. But he would just go along no matter. And the boys, he coached football and
even the great grandkids. When he was alive, he was at every sporting event.
Yeah, he didn't miss anything.
Sean, who's the oldest great grandkid,
knows him the best.
And knows him quite well. He
went to his football games and
it's great. To know your great grandpa for a lot of your life is like special. It's cool that Christy had Sean so young. Yeah, and Eileen had Christy young. So so be able to know your great grandpa,
right,
and great grandma who's still living. Because now there's I don't even know how many. Were there 5 of them? No.
Who? I can't keep track of anyone anymore.
Of the great grandkids. So there's Sean and Aria. So here we go. Patty, none. Eileen.
No, Patty. Oh, you're talking about great grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No great. Yeah. No,
Eileen's got. We got to go through.
I don't have one grandchild, by the way.
Right.
And Mandy told me she's not having kids.
Well, I'm also not sure. I'm not saying I'm not having kids, but I'm not.
I just want one. Somebody give me one.
Just a baby.
I'm sick of seeing all these other grandkids, pictures of these other grandkids.
So there's like more than half a dozen, less than a dozen of them. I would really have to do a family tree right now.
Oh, well, Keith has
2.
Yeah.
Christy's got 2. Bonnie's got 2.
Right.
Katie's got 2.
Yeah, I think that's it, right?
And Pat's got 1.
Oh, yeah, twin. Yep.
Yeah,
so that's...
whatever that is.
Yeah. Eileen's keeping the growing going over
Eileen's keeping the tribe alive. But she's also older than you. Her kids are older. So cut us some slack.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, we got time. We got 14 minutes.
Oh, that's it? Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, so I noted that life's coming full circle because now I'm filming you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And I think it's important that even if you don't have a podcast, well, probably don't, I think it's important to sit down with your family while they're around and to ask them what's some memories, like what was something that you did to make money, like when you were a kid, like what's one of the jobs you had?
Babysitting.
A lot of babysitting.
Yeah, like 50 cents an hour.
And how would you?
And I'd be scared. And I'd be scared to death the whole time, like freaking out.
50 cents an hour. I
know. And then it went up to like 70. Yeah, no wonder why these parents were all going out. Yeah, I know, it's horrible. No, but Bonnie had mentioned it one time. That movie was around where the calls coming from inside the house.
Oh yeah, what a stranger call.
Yeah, so I petrified. For 50 cents an hour.
Bonnie
I'm like,
had her parents come over and help her finish.
I've done that too.
Yeah. She was too scared.
No, but one time I was babysitting, like, I don't know how I got this job. It was someone living up in an apartment over a store.
Oh my God.
And so
you're
random. They might have been paying $1 an hour, I don't know. So I get there. She's like, first she says, the wooden spoon is there. I don't believe in hitting my children. The wooden spoon is there. If you need it, it's right here. Like, I'm going to go. I just met the kids. I'm going to start beating them with the spoon. No, but they didn't.
I'm the babysitter.
But there was a psycho cat. Like, I was on the couch, like, trying to watch a movie. Again, scared as hell. All of a sudden, it like started attacking me.
Oh my God! I know, that's the thing. You were telling.
Then by the time they came to the door, I'm like bloodied.
They're like, "Here's your quarter, kid." Like, you like walk home. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I worked at so I did that. Pergament. That was a store way back.
Is that like a Kohl's?
No, it was more like a Home Depot or something. And I was in the wallpaper department, and people will come in and they're like, "Oh, my room's like 15 by 12." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna need like 20." Like, I had no idea.
Oh my God, people were doing those statement walls not on purpose when they just paint the one wall.
Yeah, but they're asking like me for advice.
You're like,
I guess I was 15.
I'm a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
You own a wallpaper business.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, and then
you're a homeowner.
I did Kentucky Fried Chicken too.
Oh, KFC.
Horrible in the back. It's like the floor was just all grease. Glynis did it with me. We were like sliding through the store. It was disgusting.
Gliding.
Don't eat KFC.
We had Popeye's chicken the other night. Popeye's is where it's at.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about and you have an interesting story about how you got your first car. You bought a car.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was a Volkswagen like station wagon, and I didn't know how to drive a stick shift.
So you knew how to drive an automatic, so you had an idea, or you couldn't drive?
No, I could drive. No, I could drive, but a stick shift is totally different.
Yeah, so you know how to drive.
And I bought it in Rockaway, so I had to drive it back to Belmore.
And
so
that's
like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's not like a smooth sailing 45 minutes. Like Rockaway's like city-ish.
So they used to, so I made it home. A lot of grinding gears. They used to say if you can't find them, grind them.
That really grinds my gears.
Yeah, but don't ever do that. If you don't have Don't know how to drive a stick.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
buy
like,
one.
That's like buying a motorcycle and being like, all right, I'm going to drive it home,
Right.
but I don't know how to drive a motorcycle. You know, well, I
yeah,
mean,
and then I'm like on a little incline, I'm like rolling back. I was like, I shouldn't have been on the road at all.
But that's the only way to learn, because that's, you know, I didn't learn stick shift until Glenn and I bought a stick shift car, and the same thing. It's like counterintuitive. When you know how to do an automatic, it's like one thing. Like people who say, oh, you learn manual first, like it makes more sense to do automatic, but going backwards, it's weird.
I know.
But honestly, it was it's a good thing to know.
Yeah, I remember Kyle when she saw me doing it with a different car. You know, she's like, I don't like. There's too much going on. You know,
I don't like what I'm seeing.
There's too many. There's feet doing things. Yeah.
Oh well, Colleen, we got to tell this story because I tell this anytime I can. When you heavily Catholic family, Irish, you know, and you had to, when you go to church as kids, they make you, I want to say repent, but it's not repent. It's they make you confess, even though you haven't really been sinning.
Right.
It's for adults that need to go confess.
Yeah, I know. We weren't doing anything wrong.
So you have to confess by participation points. So
you have to go in and
say what you're doing, even though you're not sinning.
Yeah.
So, my Aunt Colleen's like, oh, you know, I fought with my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
You know, I cursed, and I'm lying to you now, Father.
I know. We would make up thing. I said the same thing every week. I lied to my parents, and I was mean to my brothers and sisters. So it was like
my go-to.
So it was like 3 Hail Marys and an Our Father.
And I was clean
till next week. Yeah, but it was weird. You know, they open the door, it's dark, and
I've never done that.
And you just see like the shadow of the face, you know. Yeah, it's intimidating for a young child, for sure.
Eileen says make shit up. Yeah, exactly. You just go in there and lie. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies, Jeff Posey.
Yeah, and then Grandpa would get mad at us. Like, we'd all go out, like, you know, partying, and so we couldn't make it, you know, up Sunday. And he'd be like, get up, you heathens. That was, like, big, you know, and we would be like...
And you had to get your ass up and get to church and look decent.
Yeah. So we would like cut church. We'd go get the bulletin because that was at the back of the church. It's like, see, I went, you know. Yeah. We were bad. And we went to Catholic school too.
So proof that you went to, and what Carrie told me, another one of my aunts, is that Grandpa would leave a paper plate at the door and you had to write in and out times, like check in and out. Like,
I don't remember. There was different things going on through the ages.
Through the ages. Okay, so she said there was a paper plate, and it was by the door.
Everything was a paper plate. Like it was a dustpan.
Dustpan is still a paper plate.
Definitely.
A paper plate is still a dustpan, by the way. Oh, it's a note. It's a poster.
Yeah, it's everything. Frisbee.
I was just gonna say you throw it at somebody. No, paper plate. Well, honestly, paper plates are kind of gross, though. And me and Glenn were saying the other day, I was like, the paper mask. I was like, people are still wearing the paper mask. I was like, it's like paper plates. Like, just fucking get one that you can wash.
I don't find it comfortable.
I know that they're cleaner, but it's like the pandemic's been going on since last year. Get some masks.
Yeah.
Buy some masks and wash them like fucking underwear, like everybody.
Yeah.
It's weird to me.
Yeah, and it's so much garbage now.
It's so much garbage, and how expensive is that? Like, that's why we don't buy, like, paper products, really. Like, Glenn and I've got napkins on the table right now, but, like, we usually don't buy, like, paper towels and stuff. Yeah. And that's, like, thousands of dollars.
I know.
Like, fucking paper towels are so expensive. I'm like, they're like, how do you do it? You just learn to live without it if you just cut it out.
Right.
Yeah, no, but she was saying, so you'd have to, like, sign in and out on this paper plate. So, like, I guess they were always trying to, because Grandpa was a military man, so that was instilled in running the 10 kids, right? Like, you got to keep order.
Right.
So would everyone just, like, get a job? Like, when you guys are, like, cleaning the house and stuff, it's like, you're on this and you're doing this.
No, it wasn't organized like that. It was like certain people would do it and other people wouldn't.
Oh,
you know?
Like, okay, like you could be asked of something and it's like,
but they would like if they would go out for the night. Glynis would always, you know, my best friend would stay over and we would like clean the whole house, you know. And I just loved my mom would go from room to room like, oh, like make such a big deal about it, you know.
Oh,
But it was a lot to
Melanie.
clean, you know, because it's a lot of kids,
Yeah.
always, you know, different ages and
Yeah, I
mess,
know.
a
Yeah.
lot of mess.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can't keep up. And honestly, I thought it was possible to keep up with two people being clean
Right.
and whatever. And then we had Bentley, we had our dog.
Yeah.
And honestly, having a dog in the house broke me of some of that everything has to be clean at all
Yeah.
times. Because there's going to be dog hair. It's going to smell like a dog, even
Yeah,
if you just wash
right.
the fucking thing. The dog and the blanket.
Yeah, like what's important, you know?
And it's you got living creatures among
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
There's gonna be
Yeah.
mess, you know.
Totally.
And what's good is like Glenn recently has been like in the morning. He knows that I do all the laundry, so he's been trying to run the dishwasher because I'll unpack it as soon as it's clean.
Yeah.
And we just try to like not keep stuff in the sink and like. You keep it like a well-oiled machine. You keep up on it. But it is really hard when it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like letting go of what really matters.
Yeah, and if you're working full time, I'm getting to that point. I used to worry too much.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, someone's coming. It's like, who cares? You
Yeah,
know?
I know. I've honestly, with the house now, I feel like I have enough room where I could have a room that's a shit room.
Yeah.
But every room becomes a shit room because why are sneakers in here? Why?
Yeah. There's always something that needs to be done in the house.
So you literally
know?
just got to let go of it.
I'm learning.
No, but it is nice to learn to let go because it is nice to sit in a pristine house. But then once it's clean, you're like, all right. Like, you know what I mean? It should only be clean when people come over to mess it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. I had noted stealing the church bulletin. Also, a deal of hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah. We all hitchhiked. I can't believe we did that.
Everybody would hitchhike everywhere.
I know. Eileen used to hitchhike to the beach and just get in the car. You know, we wouldn't get in vans. We knew enough not to do that.
That was word on the street was don't
but
hitchhike.
Crazy. It's amazing that we're alive.
Now,
that
did you have any crazy experiences where you felt like you had to get out?
That was only with a girlfriend that she had a Pacer. Do you know what that is? Some of these older people probably know. It was this car that looked it was like all glass, like on all sides.
Okay.
And I didn't know, like I never did like hard drugs.
Yeah.
But she was on drugs. I was terrified.
Okay.
And I was like, please let me. She's like swerving all over the highway.
Oh my God.
I know. I was begging her.
Was she having fun?
She was laughing her
That's
ass
what
off.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, she was having fun.
That's what I want to know. All right, so she was probably hallucinating or tripping.
Yeah, so that was terrifying. But most people that picked us up were nice people.
Yeah,
but we
thank
lucked
God.
out. We lucked out because
Jesus.
there was psychos back then too.
But it's also because it was like more going. You didn't think. Now it's like
when you see someone hitchhiking, you're like, "What are you kidding me?" Like
a
guy, like
okay, murderer.
Yeah, like hop in. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. We asked each other. I don't know what. Oh, thanks for ratting me out, Eileen. Saying, Eileen, we know you were hitchhiking. You know, we learned it from you, Eileen.
It's all your fault.
I learned it from you, Dad. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it was different times, and you had to get around. There was no Uber. There's no
telephones. You know.
Yeah.
I can't believe like.
I know, and that's crazy now, too, because like. Even Janelle, one of the things we have just a couple minutes left, but Janelle didn't have a cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when she, I got a cell phone at 15, so when Janelle was 15, she didn't have a cell phone.
Right.
And
you talk about when she was working at Abercrombie?
Yeah, you knew what I'm going to say. My mom calls Abercrombie and Fitch.
It's like 2 a.m. She was working like all night and it was far. It was Smith Haven Mall, and we're in Santa Mauritius. Yeah.
You gonna
so
say
when
it?
I called so I, of course we only had landline. So I'm like trying to find the number. So I think I found it's like 2 a.m. And I go, "Hi, is Janelle there?" And some lady goes, "You got the wrong number. Stupid." And I was like,
"You got the wrong number, stupid." So funny.
Yeah, that was scary not having.
I know. Now we're so like even. Like,
but I used to worry like hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you had no idea.
Yeah. And now you worry because they see the GPS and they're like, why are they there when they told me they were somewhere else?
Yeah, right.
The kids, you know what I mean? Like, because Carrie, my friend, she'll look at her daughter's location.
Well,
they
gotta put they put it on something.
Yeah, it's because it's like if she's saying she's going to a basketball game after school.
Why is she in a bar?
Your ass better be at the fucking school. Your ass better not be at your friend's house.
Yeah.
Why are you not telling me why you're at your friend's house?
Right.
You know, so it's funny that it's even through your kids, you've had that technology progress.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Because like I said, 15. So I was really like the edge of like
that was like just coming out. Right?
Yeah, like it was all like, and even the social media, like the Facebook pages and stuff. And like MySpace.
Wasn't it what? Oh yeah.
MySpace is what I had at that age. But then this sort of thing came about.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Mom, that was our time. We need more than an hour always, is what it seems like on the show. It really does. Obviously, we didn't get... this is funny, real quick. You blamed Janelle for the muffler falling off. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you could tell it.
No, we're driving down the highway, and my mom's in it. We're in a station wagon, and Janelle, like, kicks the dash, and she's like, I hate this stupid car. And literally, as she kicks the dash... muffler falls off our car, like sparks on the fucking highway. My mom's like, you see what you did? Thanks a lot, Janelle, for ruining the muffler, making the muffler fall off the car. And the other story that Janelle wanted you to recollect, because I just remember it being bizarre. The lady telling you that the lady telling me that you were going to hit me in the store.
Oh, that crazy lady? Yeah. That was scary.
Do you remember? It was scary. She was like, go outside or your mother's going to hit you. And meanwhile, you were not someone that would have me like wait outside when you were in a store.
I know.
So don't tell a parent a child that their parent's going to hit them. I think that's the moral of the story for this Mother's Day. So, and we didn't even get to it. You being the tooth fairy was, you told Kerry, like, oh, I just saw him, like, he just went, like. Yeah. And so she had that faith that, because obviously the tooth fairy's real. My older sister saw the tooth fairy. Right. Like, no doubt in my mind. So keeping magic alive, I appreciate that. And Mom, just really thank you for your time. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, literally, figuratively, all that stuff. And I'm really glad that you could make it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And that's the show, guys. Share the show. Share the show. Happy Mother's Day. Expecting mothers, want to be mothers, have a mother. And ladies that maybe wanted to be mothers and are not yet, or are mothers in spirit. We love you all. Be good.